in Danny's World, things are gonna get I'm talking about more twisted designs. We have incredibly graphic art designs and animations. And we also have tune cards, as well as something called Abyssal Tune designs. Things are about to get crazy in here. Blood, gore, phobias. I go through all the triggers that are gonna happen in the video, but if you are weak in your stomach, seriously, do not keep watching. These, like, actually, they're gross and creepy in the best way possible. As always, this series is made by Vita Biosphere on TikTok. Please go and show them some support. Their work that they do is so freaking good, and it gives us something to look at. It's a double win. Let's get into it. So to those of you that are new to this series, I'm going to explain to you how the progression system works before we go into the new Twisteds. So there's passive, aggressive, dangerous, deadly, and lethal. Passive, completely harmless and won't do anything to the player. This is regarding Twisteds inside of the game. I call it a game, it's just an alternative universe. Aggressive will attack the player on sight, but only does a little bit of damage. The way I envision this is aggressive does 25% of 100% of a tune's health. Does that make sense? Dangerous, this level deals bigger damage than aggressive does. So in my opinion, this does 33% damage. Deadly deals great damage and can kill you within 2 hits. Be careful. So 50% of damage. And lethal can kill you even once. You're done for. If they hit you, you're dead, which is 100%. That's the way I envision this. I also talked about earlier how we're going to see things called Abyssal Twisteds. And I don't know what this is, so let's go ahead and take a look at what this means first. So the Abyssal Zone is an area located at the very bottom below Garden View where the source lies. Who the heck is the source, dude? It is also home to more corrupted tunes, the Abyssal Tunes. Their bodies are more corrupted, and Iker and... Okay, this part's covered. That's interesting. Also, like, what they're explaining reminds me of Waco Mundo from Bleach, making them more dangerous to encounter. There are a total of blank of the Abyssal Zone. What does that mean? This area can only be unlocked when all extraction machines throughout the entire Garden View are completed. Danny will then tell you that you've done a great job and that you're able to leave the Garden View to the surface now. He lied. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, hey, good job. You can leave. Just kidding. Once you enter the elevator and you want to leave, he will take you down the abyss. Oh, he'll make... Oh my gosh. So you think you're finally free? No, it literally gets worse. You have to work your way back up to the surface. The abyssal area is more mangled and not like other floors. This area will not require extracting Iker, more like puzzles and obstacles with monsters. Oh, puzzles inside of Danny's world. Don't, oh. Stop playing with me. I like that way too much. We'll keep you the best and kill you. Layout wise, the map can shift, confusing the players of where they are and where they were. Dude, this sounds like a nightmare, but this sounds so fun, man. Instead of collecting capsules for info on these abyssal tunes, there will be hidden files throughout the abyss that can be collected in each tune. They're very well hidden. Kind of in transmog text, it says, be careful, Dandy is here. So I guess Dandy hunts here. We'll go ahead and get deeper into the abyssal zone later. First, let me look at every twisted that's not in the abyssal zone. Once again, fair warning, there are a lot of phobias that are inside of this. Picking up exactly where we left off, we have twisted scraps. And same with Goob, where she spawns without Goob, she won't have her body parts. Why is that? She is looking for her brother. First, she prioritizes her brother before everything, even herself. Her selflessness is what saves the player from being attacked when she's without her brother. Okay, so she'll basically be passive on the floor until she finds Goob. And if Goob's not there, she'll permanently be passive because she wants to help Goob, who's not there. She wants to find her brother so she can repair his arms before herself. When she is with them, don't come near Goob. She will think that you're a threat to him and attack you with her mangled injection stinger that will slow you down for 5 seconds. So, okay, yeah, I read that. Stinger. So inside of Dandy's horror world, which is now Fear Garden, you can see on Scraps that she has a stinger. So instead of shooting a cup at you, she's gonna shoot a freaking needle. Nice. And by the way, Scraps, like, these Twisteds look so demented. They look freakish, and it's cool. Honestly, Scraps here kind of looks like a satyr. Up next, we have Twisted Shelly, and Shelly looks interesting, to say the least. And her threat level is deadly, which I mean is a 50% hit to kill. Her appearance is enough to make you question if you want to live or not. Okay, wow. Imagine, that is a really good insult. Imagine introducing someone, and then they say, your appearance is enough to question if I want to live or not. Wow, I'm adding that one to the bank. The amount of dread she carries leaks into others, constantly putting every Twisted around her on edge. Wow, she like freaks out other Twisteds. That's crazy. With her massive size, Shelly only spawns on floors that are more suited for her size and above. That's kind of a cool quirk. It's like if this does turn into a game, it's already like integrated, you know? Getting caught by her once is already a major warning. One strike from her makes the player slowly decay, taking more damage while also decreasing their movement speed. If you were to be killed by her, she will preserve or tax it or... are you kidding me? You're telling me a Twisted is going to do taxidermy on you if she kills you? Do you guys know what taxiderming is? Taxidermy is a way of preparing, stuffing, and or mounting an animal for display or study. You ever gone into a hunter's house and they just have like deer heads on the wall, just like bears? Or you go to a restaurant and you see an animal there that was alive? That's taxidermy. I'm actually not gonna show an image of it because to me, taxidermy is kind of cynical. I don't really like it. So she'll literally preserve you and keep you mounted like as a trophy. She turns humans into trophies. Nice. Also, as you can see, she has a quick time event, which means basically you have to do something in order to not have a bad thing happen to you. In her quick time event, the player must keep focus on Shelly while looking into her unsightly face. Unsightly. Okay. The game will attempt to force your mouse away from looking at her. If you look away, she will murder you on the spot. Out of all the mains, she is the easiest tune to obtain. Wow, that's a really interesting concept, right? Like imagine playing a game, right? Like let's say I'm playing, okay, and I see Shelly is Dandy, okay, in this situation. Imagine I'm playing in first person. I have to keep looking at Dandy, but naturally the game's just gonna keep trying to make me look away, and you're actively gonna have to be looking at her. What a neat and quirky concept. Like Vita Biosphere, you are talented. Genuinely, you need to know that. Up next, we got the Shrimpman, and this has got to be one of the grossest ones I've seen. His face looks like a whatchamacallit, like a slug thing, like one of those, a leech. He's a leech. Twisted Shrimpo packs a powerful punch / headbutt, since his fist and his face are all exposed bones / teeth. One punch will send you flying away from him, taking away a portion of your health because he's dangerous, which I think is 33%. Basically, just don't go near him. Even after he is twisted, he still wants nothing to do with you. Well, yeah, he's a big old bully. If he's walking towards you, just step aside and let him through. Simple. If you decide to play God with him, peculiar choice of words. By getting in his way too many times, he might go on a rampage. Those exposed bones also work as his mouth, so expect to get bitten by him if you decide to make him mad. It's interesting how he's just like made of bone, but it seems like he can be rather passive, which is kind of cool. Up next, we have Twisted Sprout, and Sprout looks, well, still Sprout-ish. It looks like, I think it's because of the coloring, but it still kind of looks like a normal strawberry, you know? Having to get around with his arms can be difficult, leading him to be slower than other mains. The quote-unquote seeds on his body are all his eyes. Yep, okay, makes sense. There's a lot of gross eye characters inside of this, but with this, he's slightly deaf. Sprout has a grown roots on the floor from the past tunes that have crossed him and perished. Be sure to stay away from these roots, where they will drain your stamina. When a player is playing as Cosmo, do not let them be seen by Sprout, for he will get... Oh, that's weird. That's so funny. Oh, man, fruitcake. You just can't get rid of fruitcake. In any AU, fruitcake always exists. He will kidnap Cosmo to keep him forever. Yep, Sprout will not attack Cosmo ever, but he will feed him Iker goods, turning his friend into a Twisted so that they can remain friends forever. Yeah, quote-unquote friends. Someone needs to explain to me when the whole fruitcake thing started. Why? Who did this? This was the community's fault. But he also has a quick time event. When caught by him, he will control his roots to strangle you. Nice. And the player will have to spam A and D as fast as it can, as it possible, to escape becoming fertilizer for his plants. Oh, he'll turn you into fertilizer. Nice. So for those of you that don't know, that don't play KBM, which means keyboard and mouse, A and D is your like left and right when you move. So like, let's say I see Twisted Sprout, I have to like spam this to not turn into literal fertilizer. Very neat. Up next, we got the Teakster, and well, that's just nothing. There's just like nothing there. Her head fell from her body. No way, really. I'm trolling. And shattered on the floor. Well, I guess it is a teacup, so that makes sense. This Twisted seems unable to keep anything on her body. It does appear that way. Her figure is similar to a mannequin with every joint being able to bend in every direction. Very, very gross. This Twisted only moves when the player isn't paying attention to her. Okay. When the player is in her line of sight, you can notice that her arms out, looking as if she is chasing. Break out of her line of sight to avoid getting followed. Be sure to keep an eye on this Twisted. Wait, how does that work? Is that not like contradicting itself? So you have to look at her, not like be in her line of sight. So you have to stalk Tegan. You have to stalk this tune unless you want to die. Oh, she's lethal. Okay, yeah, no. So if you're like in a lobby with people, someone would have to be on Tegan duty. Got it. If a player dies from Tegan, she will decapitate them and wear the okay. Well, that the bottom image makes sense now. Oh, someone asked a really good question. Go figure. Their username's Fruitcake. Their question was, if one of the protected tunes like Cosmo gets attacked by another Twisted, will Sprout do anything or will he just not care? So I'm answering for Vita because I don't know. I think Sprout would kill that Twisted. I think they would full on murder that Twisted. I think that's a fair assumption. Also, there is more Twisteds. However, we're going to save those for the next episode because I really wanted to look at some of these like action designs. All right, sorry, this will look a little bit wonky, but yeah, these are gross. So here's Astro literally popping someone's head off. So nice. This one is please just die. He stabs you with his broken arm. Man, this is gross. Nice. Bright. Yeah, so I think this is showing how every Twisted takes out their victims. Brightney, yeah, just stabs straight through someone's head. Cosmo, update. Nice. He has big right arm now. This arm will unhinge and eat the player whole like a snake. This is not this is not for the fan of art. Finn, get eaten. I don't understand what's going on. I think he like fishing rodded this person and then he's gonna like eat him with his chest. This is Flutter just eating someone's body. God, it's so gross. It's so gross. And I mean that like in a good way. That means Vita's doing a good job. Glisten's not too bad. It just says caught you. I can handle that. Pebbles isn't too bad either. Except he is just like slowly eating away at someone's body. It's kind of gross. It's very gross. Bobby goes bonk. Oh, Roger's just pulling someone apart. Okay. Oh, this is someone being taxidermied by Shelly. How quirky. Here's Scraps and Cosmo. I just called Goop Cosmo. This is Scraps and Goop. And of course, we get to see what happens when they're both together and Scraps attacks someone. God, it's gross. Here's V. She basically shocks you until you're a burnt corpse. I think that's enough death. Let's go ahead and look at the tune. I love making these videos so much. This is amazing. I love my life. So in the last episode, we looked at Pebble, and it's very cool how it introduces tunes into the game. They have their own like special, unique, and player cards. So like I said, we already looked at Pebble. So up next is Astronomical Man. And who does have 4 arms under the cover? Hey, everyone. Yo, Astro's tall in this. He's 6'2". I'm definitely that height. Prime age, 26. Movement's average. Health is below average. Really? His stamina's average. Extraction's average. And his strength's below average. That makes sense. I could see him being like literally the weakest. So he has extra sets of limbs. Black mist-like hair. Cyan. Yeah, we don't need to read the appearance. We can literally see his ability. Astro is able to restore any living creature's stamina. Okay, so it's the same as the game. He releases a soft blue mist from his mouth. That's different. Filling the room with a blue fog. His handler states that this fog is as refreshing as getting a full night's rest. Oh, I could use that every single day. This comes at the cost of his own stamina, for he almost instantly falls into a deep sleep. The time he spends sleeping depends on the amount of people he restores. Keep him in a safe area upon using this ability. His temperature seems normal, but upon making physical contact with him, he is cold to the touch. Perhaps that's the reason why he wears such a heavy clothing. He seems insecure about his extra limbs and his hair. Well, he's not as insecure in the normal game. He's actually showing that. You'll see him wearing his nightcaps, cape, and blanket everywhere he goes. It's rare to even see his unique features. Okay, well, never mind. He hides them. This student often falls ill and struggles to stay focused when going through basic tests. They are required to get checkups every month until improvement is made. Conditions haven't shown any improvement. On the contrary, it has worsened. This student will soon have an operation to permanently resolve the issue. And as you can see, his stability is defective. And we get a quirky little handler note. He sleeps a lot and everywhere too. He dozes off when I talk to him for a certain amount of time. I can tell he's trying his best to stay awake. He doesn't like to ask for a lot either. He seems to view himself as a bother. Yeah, well, I get that. as a human being or as a skeleton. I get where he's coming. It's kind of sad. Who knew that Danny's horror world would be so relatable? Loud noises make him anxious, so I recommend sending Astro noise canceling headphones. Astro seems to have a sweet tooth for sugar. We actually have enough for another episode. However, I want to look at some Abyssal Tunes before I end things here. So this is what I alluded to in the beginning, the Abyssal Zone. Let's get into it, boys. So here is Abyssal Astro, and I'm assuming that there is an Abyssal version of every tune, and this one just has an insane amount of hands. Very disturbing. Imagine being chased by this giant hand thing. It seems like it's straight from Chainsaw Man. This is giving Chainsaw Man vibes. Abyssal Brightney unlocked more eyeballs and also opened up their body, I think. Is that what happened? Moving on. Ew. 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 So Abyssal R&D is detached, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit, actually. And here's Abyssal Scraps plus Goob. Oh, they combine. They morph together. Nice. So we have Morphosis. Top comment on this is, I am not distracting that, bro. That's hilarious. Nice. Either way, without further ado, that is gonna do it for this episode. If you guys like the episode, show support to Vita more than anything else, but leave a comment and like the video if you want to see more in the future. I love doing AUs. I only do them once a week, considering how much you guys like them. As long as I keep getting permission from people, I'll probably do them twice a week. Until then, I'll see you guys again tomorrow, probably.